If you've been watching for a while, you already know. I don't shy away from uncomfortable conversations. I'm Jacob, and today we're talking about something edgy, complicated, and honestly, frustrating as hell. What if most people aren't actually racist? Yeah, I said it. Now relax. I'm not saying racism, transphobia, or discrimination don't exist. They absolutely do. They're real, harmful, and deserve to be called out every single time. No debate there. But here's the problem. These days, words like racist, transphobic, fatphobic, and bigot get thrown around so easily that they're starting to lose their meaning. And sometimes, let's be honest, they're used less as tools for justice and more as shields against accountability. Not always, but often enough to notice. Not every disagreement is hate. Not every question is prejudice. And not every criticism is discrimination. Sometimes it's just common sense. And yeah, it's frustrating as hell. And honestly, it's confusing too. Take language online, for example. Everyone knows certain words are offensive, and they should be. But instead of addressing intent, people just dance around the rules. Like when someone uses the R word, platforms crack down, so people swap it out and say regard instead. I mean, what the hell? If it's meant the same way, what difference does it make? The insult is still the insult. Or consider the N-word. One version is widely condemned, while another is used differently depending on cultural context. For many people, that contradiction can be confusing. It raises complicated questions about history, intent, and who decides what's acceptable. And just to be clear, I'm not defending offensive language. Not even close. Words matter. History matters. Respect matters. But the inconsistencies leave people afraid to speak and hesitant to ask honest questions. And when people are too afraid to talk, real understanding never happens. Now let's talk about internet culture. Some critics argue that influencer Lily Tino has faced backlash over her behavior online. When people call her out, they're sometimes labeled as transphobic. Whether those accusations are justified or not, the situation sparks debate about where accountability ends and prejudice begins. Then there's Foodie Beauty. She's been criticized for controversial statements, offensive remarks, and shocking behavior over the years. Yet when people push back, they're sometimes dismissed as fatphobic instead of being engaged on the substance of their criticism. Again, that doesn't mean all criticism is fair, or that discrimination doesn't exist. But it does raise an important question. Are we confronting real prejudice or avoiding accountability? Because when labels are used as shields, something important gets lost: honest conversation. And you don't just see this online, you see it everywhere. A teacher enforces rules and gets accused of bias. A boss expects professionalism, and suddenly it's called discrimination. A student gets corrected and claims they're being targeted. Someone respectfully disagrees, and instead of a discussion, they're labeled and shut down. That's not progress. That's avoidance. And yeah, it's frustrating as hell. When powerful labels are overused, they lose their impact. And when everything is called racist or transphobic, it becomes harder to recognize real injustice when it actually happens. That doesn't help anyone. Real discrimination deserves real attention, not watered-down outrage over every uncomfortable moment. We should be able to talk without walking on eggshells. We should be able to ask questions without fear. And we should be able to hold each other accountable without assuming the worst. That's not hate. That's maturity. Most people aren't out here trying to hurt anyone. They're just living their lives, learning as they go, and trying not to screw things up along the way. They're human. imperfect, misunderstood, still figuring things out just like the rest of us. And maybe, just maybe, the path forward isn't about shouting labels at each other, but listening, understanding, and having the courage to talk things out like decent human beings. Because real progress isn't built on fear. It's built on honesty, accountability, and respect. So no, most people aren't racist. They're just human. And maybe the real solution isn't louder accusations, but better conversations. I'm Jacob. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.